Guys, today I'll be showing you how I sew down my U-part wig. So this is how my hair usually looks under my U-part wig. I do have a video showing you how I do my braiding pattern, so I'll leave it below so you guys can see how I do my braid pattern. But these are the tools that you'll need. You'll need some, I don't know what these are called. I got them from Sally's. I guess they're called clips. I got these from Sally's. And you'll need some of these clips. I use these clips just to hold down the parts of my hair that I'm leaving out. And I like to have 4 pre-threaded needles. The reason why I pre-thread my needles is because I don't have to stop and re-thread them. So I use about 4. And you will also need your U-part. And I also have a video showing you how I make my U-part, so I'll leave that below as well. So the first thing you want to do is position the U-part to your head. And so now if you can look here, my anchor braids are really small. And the reason why my braids are small is because it looks a little bit more flawless when you have smaller braids. So you want to take your U-part and you want to go ahead and put it on top of your anchor braids and just position it just like that. So the next thing that I like to do is I like to go ahead and take the clips and just clip it in place so that when I'm sewing it, it does not move. And I'll just clip down the first 2. I'll just use 2 clips to clip down the top. So I'm going to start with my first pre-threaded needle. And what I like to do is when I thread it, the first time I will make a knot. That is the only time I will make a knot. After that, I will not knot until I get to the end. So I'm going to take this first needle and I'm going to sew from here all the way to the middle of the U-part. So you want to start by getting really close to the beginning of your braid and to where the U-part starts. Now you want to go ahead and get the end. Now if you can look here, the end is knotted. And I'm just going to clip off the excess thread. So you want to take the needle and you want to put the needle through the thread just like that so that you can secure it with the knot. And make sure none of the hair gets in the way. So it's going to look like that. And you want to pull that really tightly. So I'm going to continue to sew, but I'm not going to knot. And I'm going to sew really close together. That way you don't have any bumps and the wig won't start falling down. The closer you get to the braid, the better your blending will be. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to remove this clip right here. And make sure your clips are not in the way because you'll have the same problem that I'm having right now. So just keep sewing and make sure you do not make any knots as you sew along. This will make taking the U-part off much easier because all you have to do is cut this first knot and cut the last knot. Okay, so now that I am at the middle, I'm going to end my sewing. I'm going to take my thread just like that, and I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to make a knot, pulling the thread through the hole. I'm going to pull that really tightly and go ahead and cut your thread and make sure that you don't have any long strings hanging. So this part is secured really well, as you can see. That's what it should look like. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now make sure your leave out is not in the way, because you don't want to accidentally sew any of your leave out. So just go ahead and secure it down. And the reason why I don't thread it this way, I don't do it one time all the way around, is because it'll have like bumps and stuff. Like it'll have bumps, and then you'll have a flap sticking up. That's why I like to do 2 different threads, because it just stays down flatter when you use 2 different threads. So you want to go ahead and do the same exact process that you did with the other side. You want to go ahead and start it with a knot. Take the end, knot it, and also make sure there's no excess thread hanging. And make sure it's secured really well. I'm just going to remove that, and I'm going to continue to sew. So I'm at the end, and I'm going to finish the end off with a knot. So as you can see, it's very, very flawless. I'm not going to have any problems blending because it sits so flat on my anchor braid. So I'm just going to take that, make sure it's really tight, and just cut it off. So that's how I sew the top of it down. So the next part is I have to sew down the side. And now you want to make sure your edges are out of the way. Now what I like to do is gather all of the hair from the side. Take all of the side hair. And I'm going to be using this clip to move the hair out of the way. You want to make sure all the hair is moved out of the way, because when you sew it down, you want to make sure that you don't sew any of the hair. That would not be good. Alright, so you take your other thread, needle or thread, and you want to get as close to the top of your anchor braid as possible. So my anchor braid starts about right here, so I'm gonna pull the wig down just like that. Get the needle. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that needle through the wig. Now, just like I started the other 2, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to knot it only one time when I start, and I'm only going to knot it when I finish. And like I said, the reason why I do this is because once I take it only takes me like 1 minute, literally 1 minute to take my U part off. So just continue to pull down and sew. So just pull down and sew. And here you can't really tell where the edge of my U part is, but I can feel it, so I know where I'm sewing. And it'll be the same for you when you're sewing yours down as well. So like I said, make sure you don't get any hair as you're sewing. Be really careful. And so I'm just going to continue to sew until I get to the bottom of my head. And end that braid with a knot. Just like that. Make sure it's tight. So go ahead and cut it just as you cut the other two. So it should look like that. So that's what the side will look like. And the side should look like that, so that when you put it back and the wind blows, you can't see anything. Just make sure that's blended really, really well. Okay, so you want to go ahead and do the same thing you did for this side with the other side. So just go ahead and brush that back and make sure everything blends good. And that is pretty much it. That's how I sew on my wigs. And they have a really secure and flat fit. I don't have any problems. I keep my wigs on for about a week, and I repeat the process once a week. So I'll take it off, wash the wig, wash my hair, and do the same process once a week. So that is what it looks like. So you can go ahead and blend your hair once you're done. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.